Does anybody else have a bad feeling about Manchester United coming into this season? And if you're a Manchester United fan and you're listening to this video, then but from your perspective, I mean a good feeling. I'm a Manchester City fan, so of course this is a bad feeling for me. But I feel like Manchester City are actually going to have a good season next season. I'm looking at the current transfer news which is going around. I'm looking at the signings that they have currently made. And the more and more I look at Manchester United, the more and more I analyse what they could do in the coming season, I'm starting to think to myself that this could genuinely be a really good season for Manchester United, and it could be a season which launches them back into a Champions League position. I genuinely believe that if they manage to get some of the signings which they are rumoured to right now across the line. And I've seen a lot of the discourse on social media about Manchester United at the moment. A lot of people talking about, obviously, some of the positive signings, but I've seen people talking about Manchester United, oh, you know, if they have a good season, they can maybe finish 8th, 7th in the Premier League. I think it's a lot more dangerous than that coming into the season. I think a lot of people are writing off Manchester United because of how bad last season was. And they're not actually looking at what could potentially be happening this season. And let's just quickly go into it. They've just signed Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig for 85 million euros as a full package. They've also got Bryan and Mbeumo from Brentford for 70 million pound. And they've paid 62.5 million pound of Matheus Cunha's release clause in installations to get him as well. So they've completely revamped their attacking options coming into the season. And we're talking about Matheus Cunha, who was one of the best attacking players in the Premier League last season, was absolutely instrumental to everything Wolverhampton Wanderers did well attackingly last season. Bryan and Mbeumo, who got 20 goals in the Premier League last season for Brentford. And then Benjamin Sesko, who scored only 12 goals in the Bundesliga last season. However, is a player that is getting better season on season. And if you've watched him play football before, his ball striking ability is genuinely ridiculous. And add to that as well, the signings in which they are currently rumoured to as well. And if they get these two signings across the line, I'm really telling you guys, you should be concerned about Manchester United coming into the new season. Carlos Baleba from Brighton and Gigi Donnarumma from PSG. If they manage to get these two signings across the line, I'm telling you right now, they are a problem next season. Because Carlos Baleba will add exactly what this Manchester United team is screaming out for right now. If you watch Manchester United last season under Ruben amorim, in that double pivot in the midfield, because he likes to play the two in midfield, they could not compete physically because they didn't have the players to be able to cover the ground and the space within the midfield. They didn't have players athletic enough to be able to operate in that position. If you sign Carlos Baleba, he is an athletic beast. I mean, he can cover ground ridiculously well. He's so athletic. He's so quick. But not only that as well, not only is he good at breaking up play and being that bulldozer in the midfield, he's also technically ridiculous as well. I remember last season against Brighton for Manchester City. Manchester City were winning the game. Carlos Baleba came on at halftime and he completely flipped the game. Manchester City could not deal with the physicality and the technical ability of Carlos Baleba in the midfield. He is a player that is absolutely exceptional. And if Manchester United get that signing across the line, as expensive as it would be, it could genuinely revolutionize their season. And then, of course, add Gigi Donnarumma to that. I mean, the best goalkeeper in the world last season. Yes, he's got his own mistakes. Of course he does. But I tell you what, he's a damn sight better than Onana, who they currently have in goal. And those mistakes have dried up a little bit in the last year. He was absolutely phenomenal for PSG last season, making saves to keep them in games. You think back to the Aston Villa game in the Champions League, the saves he pulled out to keep PSG in that game, the saves he made across the season. He was absolutely outstanding for Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. If they manage to sign Gigi Donnarumma, who they have a good chance of signing, to be completely honest, because PSG have just signed a new goalkeeper in Chevalier, and he is going to be the main goalkeeper for them next season, which means Donnarumma is practically being pushed out the door. And so if they are able to get these two signings over the line, then we're looking at a Manchester United side next season which has Donnarumma in goal, Amad Diallo as a right wing back, Mazraoui as a right centre back. You've got Laika Martinez as a left centre-back. You've got, as the central centre-back, De Ligt as well. You've got potential options of Lenny Yoro in there as well. You've got that Heaven as well. Harry Maguire as backups. At left wing-back, Dorgu, not the greatest left wing-back in the world, but he's solid enough. And then you've got in the midfield, Baleba. You can play Kobe Mainu in there, who's going to get back to his best next season. You've got Bruno Fernandes, who can also operate in there. You've obviously got Ogate, Casemiro, who are getting Well, Casemiro is a little bit past it. Ugarte, not sure if he's quite up to the standard. We'll obviously have to see over the next season. But they've got options in that central midfield if they get baleba in there. And then in the attacking areas of the pitch, they've gone from, Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, Antony, to Matheus Cunha, and mbeumo, and, what's his name? Sesko. That is a major upgrade. And that side going into the next season, under Ruben Amorim, with 38 games of a Premier League season, without the disruptions of any European football, which I think is going to be a blessing in disguise for Manchester United next season, with a full pre-season in Ruben Amorim's system, with a full preseason as well to get the players up to the fitness levels which are expected to operate in this system, I genuinely can just see Manchester United launching this season. And I feel like that Ruben Amorim specifically is going underrated because of his first half season in the Premier League for Manchester United. It did not go well for him. There is you can't negotiate about that. However, when you look at the conditions in which he came into at Manchester United, it wasn't exactly conducive to a team that was just going to turn everything around. There were so many problems at the club and within the squad which Ruben Amorim had to deal with, which meant that it was such a difficult job for him to come into. He was coming into the middle of the season with an Erik ten Hag squad which was not playing well. They were not getting results. And Ruben Amorim came in with a new system. He implemented that system. The problem is that they didn't have the players to play that system. Everyone talked about it last season. They didn't have the players or the play style to be able to transition from Erik ten Hag's system into Ruben Amorim's system. They didn't have the fitness levels to be able to play at that intensity, and they didn't have the midfielders in there. They didn't have the athleticism in the midfield to cover the ground. And overall, Ruben Amorim fell on his knees in the first season. However, coming into this season, all of that changes. As I said, he's had a pre-season with everyone. They're going to come into the season knowing exactly what Ruben Amorim expects from them. They're also going to be up to the fitness levels of what Ruben Amorim expects for his players, because last season it was very evident that they did not have the fitness levels to do what he was demanding. They're not going to have European football, so there's no distractions. They're going to be playing once a week, or, sometimes they'll be playing twice a week with the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, but they're going to be purely focused on the Premier League. With all of the new signings, with all of the new attacking talent they've got, added on top of Amad Diallo and Bruno Fernandes, and then if they manage to get Donnarumma and baleba in, I'm telling you guys, do not sleep on Manchester United this season. And I want to be wrong. I really want to be wrong as a Manchester City fan. But I'm just looking at this United team at the moment. I'm looking at the circumstances coming into the new season. And if they get baleba and Donnarumma, do not sleep on them. Do not sleep on them. Because I'm seeing a lot of people at the moment predicting Manchester United for, if they have a good season, maybe they'll finish 8th in the Premier League. Maybe they'll finish 7th. Could get a Europa League or a Conference League spot. I genuinely believe if they get baleba and Donnarumma, they could come for a Champions League spot. I really do. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me here. But you look at the squad, you look at the amount of football they're going to be playing next season. They can set their sights on one goal. And teams like Chelsea, European football. Teams like the other teams around, like Nottingham Forest, they've got European football. A lot of these teams are dealing with European football next season, and they might potentially take their eye off the ball. I think this Manchester United team have a genuine shot. I'm not saying they will finish in the top 4, but I think they have a genuine shot at top 4 next season, as long as things fall into place and they get these signings across the line. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Manchester United coming into the new season. Do you agree or disagree with me? Obviously, a lot of the things that I'm saying right now depends on them getting baleba in the midfield. I think he's a big part of that. And if they get Donnarumma as well, I really think that this could be GG's. No pun intended. But it was absolutely intended. But thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know what you guys think of Manchester United coming into the new season. What do you think Manchester United's ceiling is as a finish if they get Donnarumma and baleba in this transfer window? Let me know what you guys think of Manchester United's business so far. And on top of that as well, hit the like button if you enjoy the video, if you did find it informative in some sort of way. And if you do enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button. It helps out a lot. And thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, I'm wrong about what I'm talking about here. But I don't think I am. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.